Hi all, welcome to another Chess 24 Banter Blitz. Okay, so it's 11:30 AM UK time. So just checking out the preview. When that comes up, you should see a voucher code, Kingscrusher. Let me just reload here. So it's 11:30. Whoops. Okay. So the voucher code with 15% off, Kingscrusher. If you want to check that out. I'm hoping audio and visual is okay. So let me know. Let's go to the challenges today. To the challenge screen. And the first challenge today from Kaz. Okay, so hope audio, visual is okay. There, just let me know. So I'll play Knight F6. I think maybe I'll try the Nimza Indian, or what about actually a Benoni? Benoni might be interesting. Just for a bit of variety. So this was popular in the time of Mikhail Tal. I think the peak interest in the Benoni was 1960 when Mikhail Tal became world chess champion. So I've got a 3-2 pawn majority on the queen side. Bit of pressure on the e file. There does seem to be a dynamic here that I can play h5, h4, maybe with h3 with tempo. I'm going to use knight e5 to shield d6. If he took off there, I think he'd be weaker on the dart squares. But here I think this dynamic of getting a form pawn there is very interesting. And the other plan is to play for b5. Okay, but I'm going to play for this form pawn first, I think. I think that's pretty dangerous. But also any possibility of white being weakened on the dart squares is probably pretty interesting. Okay, so if I go here and then rook b8 at some point, b5, or maybe c4 and queen b6 at some point. g5 is also interesting, pushing bishop g3 maybe. Okay, the form pawn, yeah, even if it drops, I'm not sure that's so bad. f3 is a bit vulnerable right now. Queen h4, bishop g3. Okay, g5, bishop g3. f5 might be interesting to try and get some more kind of counterplay. I think I'll play f5. It's kind of ambitious, I think. So let's say knight takes h3, f takes g, bishop takes g4 after maybe is interesting. Okay, so f3 could be vulnerable to knight takes f3. If the bishop, maybe if I could distract the bishop with a b5 later, that's something. Oh, the g file is also interesting. I'm wondering if I can combine both with a rook switch to the g file, but white can obviously use the g file here. I seem to be indirectly defending the pawn because of f takes and then hitting h3. But I'm wondering about some sort of, okay, so the g file is going to be a center of action. I'm wondering a rook left at some point. I guess a concern is an exchange sack. Or maybe I just drop back the king. Okay, what I think is, oh, bishop h6 is also scary. So maybe I should start getting ready. Yeah, with rook g8. Because I think bishop h6 is scary. I think I need to connect my stuff as well. They're pretty hemming each other in. Yeah, this is a bit controversial. So king safety is low at the moment. Maybe queen f6 can help. Yeah, king safety is not great. I'm first thinking mate there. Okay. Queen f6. Okay, as long as the queen's not coming to h6 anytime soon, I hope. Bishop d7, rook g8. It does seem as though the g-file's just swapping everything off at the moment. Bishop d7, rook g8, but okay. Bishop d7, rook g8. I'm just thinking at some point b5 later. f4 is actually quite interesting. Suppressing that queen and protecting the pawn officially. f4. Would that be terrible? Any knight g4, I think I just take. That knight would be good against the bishop. Yeah, I think f4. If I get another move, that would improve king safety slightly. I think f4 shields my king, protects the pawn. Yes, I'm liking f4 as an idea. It'll be awkward to hit, I think, f4 with bishop and knight, because the bishop's responsible for f3 right now. The forcing with f4 might be interesting, I guess. Yeah, quite worrying maybe. Okay. I can hit that queen with f takes. Have the queens off. This might be interesting. What's the alternative? If there's an established knight on e4, it looks at d6 though. So maybe not. Maybe I should wait for white to do that. Knight g4, I can take with the knight. Or my knight's protecting the queen. Okay, so bishop d7, I think. So yeah, if that kind of fragments white's pawn chain, e takes, I think. Okay, I can't get rid of the nagging pressure so easily though. Oh, f4 I wanted to play anyway. Okay, there's no mate at the moment, I hope. I just want this g-file, this queen off. Actually, the queen hasn't got that many squares here. That seems to win the queen. Yeah, no, the queen's been... it seems as though knight g4 might be forced. Just losing a piece. Alright, it was scary for a bit. Thanks, Kaz. Okay, on to the next game, the mechanic. Okay, that was a tour of the Benoni. Maybe I'll try that again today. Make it a Benoni day in the spirit of Mikhail Tal, in memory of Mikhail Tal. There's a Tal memorial taken, I think, more seriously than a lot of other. He was just such a brilliant player, more celebrated than a lot of other players from that era, at least. Okay, so it's sort of tango here. So knight f6 and bishop c5. Yeah, I think bishop c5 and d6. Okay, so there could be knight b3 and d6, I guess. Oh, am I worried? I'm not sure I should be that much. Oh, knight b3 anyway. There's knight takes e4. Isn't there? Yeah, I think I can nick a pawn with knight takes e4. Yeah, I was just thinking that if I played bishop b6, there's d6. But, yeah, this centre pawn looks pretty interesting to grab. If bishop d3, there's e4 here. e4. Okay, h5 is hit. If I kicked that, can I just kick it back before there's a build-up on h5? With bishop e2. I don't want that knight lurking around at the moment. Okay, I think I'm thinking I could take that, and then queen f6. Yeah, I'm thinking unless yeah, bishop takes knight, king f8. I think I can see this isn't that bad, unless I'm getting this completely wrong, of course, which is possible. Oh no, what have I done? I have got it completely wrong, haven't I? Whoops. No, didn't expect this. Bishop g6. There's a few pieces for the queen. When I say a lot, I mean, oh dear. This does look rather bad. This doesn't look like a great outcome. This is not good. I've just been mated, haven't I? Yeah, well played. I just totally underestimated the whole thing. That was wonderful. That was total underestimation. Let's just see that in action. Am I obliterated here? I think I might be. I have to play g6. No, queen f3. Missed that check. No, white's still winning there. So, hang on a sec. So I must play d6. Well, okay, I think... Oh, I don't remember this line. King f8? Oh, crikey. Blimey. After what I played, got obliterated. Yeah, this is a very forcing, awkward situation, made worse and worse. Wow. Okay. Okay, well played. Excellent. I have to remember that one. That's a good one for the not to play thing in this opening. Okay. Kafka. So this is a 3-minute game. Okay, so g6 and bishop g7. Okay, knight e4, maybe. White does seem pretty solid. a6. What's I mean? Knight takes, maybe. Maybe knight takes. Or f5. What about f5? g5, g4. Is that too weakening? I took here. So g takes. I can get the queen in there. Although this knight takes and rook c7 is dangerous. Oh, I've got knight g5 here maybe. I guess could take. It's only a 3-minute game anyway. I think I've got to move a bit quickly. Just worrying about knight b5 and rook c7. Maybe rook f7 on rook c7. Oh, knight e7. Okay, rook e7. Alright, there is this for bishop c6. Check. Alright, the c4 looks good. Thanks for the game, Kafka. Yeah, the king. Okay, the king was slightly out and about. Friedel. Okay, so I think I'll try a King's Engine attack system. Bit on the quiet side. Can I play a5 here? Or maybe just this. I think yeah, maybe knight a3 there. B takes that's a nice, or is it? Oh, maybe not. Okay, can I take? I was wondering if c4 was any good about this. I suppose there's always d5. Is that d5? Alright, can I do this? Try and weaken these light squares if I can weaken them. Okay. I reinforce. Any d5, there's bishop takes c5 now, right? So h5 looks interesting. Okay, queen d2. Maybe g4 or f4. Maybe f4 for f5. f4 for f5. I think I should take that, because otherwise b3 is very vulnerable. Can I play for f5 at some point? This is quite fast pace, isn't it? Okay, unpin. Very fast paced game. If I double the rooks, f5 looks winning here. Almost because of rook f5 and bishop e4. Well, not winning as in, there's always bishop c4. But it's kind of dangerous, surely. It sort of means h5 is weaker. h5 is vulnerable here. I think I should take with this not to give a passed pawn, so h5 is vulnerable. Okay, so queen h5, rook g3, knight g4, queen g7. Is that a lot of hassle that I don't want necessarily? King h2, rook takes d3. I'm just wondering rook g1 there. Maybe that is dangerous for the opponent. That kind of position looks okay because I'm pinning when principle. I think knight g4, king h2, rook g1 and bishop e4 look dangerous. Even if d3 is lost, this g file black's king safety. So just check this out. Alright, so giving up pawn. Okay, d3 is vulnerable though. I could go to f3 to hold d3 and then play g4 later. Oh, there's bishop e3 and knight takes d3. Okay, so okay, I think I will take and bishop e4 maybe. Oh, there is knight c2 to e3. Okay, there's g4 at some point. I can pin this one. I think king h3 and g4, or king h3 and knight g4. Or g4. I mean, alright, if there's g5 and f takes, there's f6 with check to win that rook. So bishop f4, there's an option of g5 here for f takes and f6. Do I use that? Probably I do, to establish g6, I think. If nothing else, that would support the pawns. G6, check. A bit squishy there. So h5, rook takes, and h6 looks dangerous for g7, check. Yeah, that looks a bit squishy. So rook takes, and then h6 looks menacing for all sorts of reasons. I think I'm going to do it for fun, and more than fun, I think it's very good. Knight g4, knight takes f6, g7 would stop king h7. Okay, on this side, this would gain a tempo as well. For my operations of knight g4, knight f6 and g7. I don't want to give a pass pawn. I think that would be a bit dangerous. If I use this approach, so knight f6 and g7 incoming. Right, so that gains a tempo for knight f6 and g7. Okay, the question is this d pawn, do I temporarily step back just to not give any dangerous pass pawns? I think I will take a moment to step back. I don't want. Alright, thanks to the game final. Yeah, that was tricky after, wasn't it? Okay, that got a bit tricky for black. Okay. Torquemido. Right, I think King's Ninja attack. Okay, King's Indian attack for a moment. Knight d2 and e4. Okay, so c3 or queen e2. C3 maybe. Queen e2, knight c4. Okay, I'm hitting b5 here anyway. Maybe I just want to get that c4 square again. If I can puncture the use of c4. Oh. Okay, I think I'm going to grab a pawn here. Friendly knight takes e5 now. Okay, so a knight takes e5 looks good. Possibly on here, maybe knight takes and then e5, or is there anything, maybe or knight c4, maybe just knight c4, and bishop f4. Actually, there's knight b6, knight takes, there's queen to pin the knight. Oh, but then there's knight takes c6. So the question is knight b6? Yeah, I think knight b6 looks interesting. Okay, there's one variation though with queen b7 I'm uncertain of. Knight takes, queen takes, bishop takes. Maybe that's okay, e5. If bishop takes, then there's e takes, two pieces are hanging. So, okay, probably that variation is okay. On queen b8, knight takes. But if, so queen b7, knight takes, queen takes, bishop takes, e5. Alright, this one I could just take here, I think. So e5 and or maybe bishop f4. Bishop f4 looks interesting for e5. Or knight c4 for a moment, or knight d, maybe just knight d5. Okay, so queen takes looks okay. There's no killer bishop b6 yet. The knight's on b6 at the moment. So bishop f4 and right, I can take that. e5 opens up the bishop, and maybe b4 and okay, there's bishop b6. Okay, queen d6, maybe queen d6. Oh, maybe there's queen a7 though. All right, okay, I'll just put this back then somewhere. c6, maybe c6, or protect the pawn. Maybe just protect the pawn. Okay, there's rook d8. Still protect the pawn for a moment. And protect the pawn again. I can throw in a check on f6. Okay, so I can try and squish that diagonal with c5. Okay, that protects b4 as well. There's an incoming e6, hits the queen, and e takes threatened. Oh, here there's queen c6, double attacking. I think I'll go for that. Now queen b8, there's e6 hitting the queen. So I'll go for e6 here. Alright, so I just take the queen, I think. Now there's bishop takes on rook takes. And queen c8. Okay, thanks for the game talk, Medita. Okay, Chapper. Right. I'll try the usual knight c6, I think. And get reasonable positions from this. Right, so bishop e7 here. Let's see. Is f5 any good, or is it too weakening? I'll go with f5. Bishop takes. Right, it's King G7. I'm thinking G7. Offering, okay, there's a light square bishop without a counterpart. Yeah, but there's a bit of f-file pressure, but hang on a sec. Is maybe knight f5 for queen f6 just to compensate on the dark squares for a moment? Or queen h4 looks a little bit dangerous actually. Some sort of attack with queen h4. I'm just thinking knight e5 to g4 after. Without that defensive knight, looks a bit vulnerable. Queen h4, knight e5, knight g4. Yeah, I think queen h4 is a good idea. Okay. So if I played knight e5, yeah. I guess knight d5 is scary. Knight d5. Looking at c7. Maybe I'm not threatening anything because knight g4, there's h3. I'm not really threatening anything at the moment. Oh, knight d4 for knight f3. Hold on a sec. Knight d4 for knight f3 check. And it hits the bishop. Right. Yes, that's annoying. Can I play queen h5? g4 I think I can take. Queen h5. Well, g4 there's knight f3. G4 is not a move to consider at the moment. Anyway, so rook e8. Is he going to actually give up this light square bishop? Well, f4 is something more serious if I played rook e8. Okay, knight g4 really doesn't do anything I expect. Rook d8 might be interesting for c5 and knight d4 for knight f3. I think I'm going to go with that because this incoming f4 is going to be a pain. So I don't want to target on this file. If I can get away with, okay, a backward pawn, I know that's punishable by death, a backward pawn. But if I get knight d4 in this particular case, he's going to take on f5 though. Hang on a sec. There's a much simpler way of this knight f3 device, which is play knight h4 here for knight f3. Yeah, knight h4. Knight h4 is a much simpler way to threaten knight f3 and sort of question these squares a bit, at least. So knight f3 is a big threat. Now bishop g4. I wonder if bishop g4 is... I could take the bishop and then knight f3. Yeah, just taking the bishop for knight f3 check. And then that does a lot of damage. Any rook e7, there's rook f7 after. Alright. Okay, can I play... An unpinning move threatens knight f3 check. Rook f6 unpins. That's nifty. Except there's rook takes e5. That's naughty. On d8. Oh. That really works, doesn't it? Okay. c5 is fast and weakening. But maybe is what the doctor orders here. Because there might also be a knight f3 to pick up a rook. Okay. Rook e5 d takes. Okay, I'll go with c5. So queen f3, there might be knight f3 check anyway. This knight f3 looks entertaining if nothing else. Is it really that sound? I'm not sure it's that sound. If I played rook f6, okay, there's always rook e5, so I've got another target here. Just wondering... Queen g5 stops f4. Maybe queen g5 is interesting to stop f4. Okay, I'll go with queen g5. I'm hoping that stops and accentuates knight f3 and threatens mate, actually. Okay, what's that when it's at home? What's that? What is that? What is that? Okay, I'm taking that. And going again for knight f3, second helping. Okay, there is knight e4. Okay, I dare to glance at the e file now. For knight g4, almost. Try and support knight g4 without queen g4. For knight f2. So knight g4 is the big. Okay. Protect that guy. Oh, there's rook f2 threatening mate. Oh, I missed rook f2 threatening mate. Okay. Try and break down. Oh, knight f3. Oh, the queen's hanging. Yeah, I thought it was a bit dangerous, all these knights and squares, and I thought even though it looked really good in theory, getting the light square bishop, I think there were some naughty issues here. I could see that in principle this looks really cool. Probably the engine thinks it's better as well, but just check that. I don't know, maybe the engine doesn't, because I think I do have a few tricks after losing the light square bishop. What does it give? It gives white slightly better. Oh, queen g5 is strong because I'm threatening, knight f3 and mate. Okay, no, that is dangerous. Okay, that causes some damage. I don't know if that's... Couldn't I just take that? Right, thanks for the game. Yeah, Cobra. Okay, Cobra. I'll try this. Okay. aggressive play. From the outset. I'll take the centre. Thanks very much. Yeah, I'll go in with the provocation. Okay, so d5 could be tortured soon. However, I've had this sort of position in bullet stuff. If nothing else. Okay, it looks as though I'm going to just go for a hack attack here, just for entertainment value, with h5, h4, not even going to castle. I think d5, okay, probably crumbles. Maybe I'll just let it crumble, the whole structure. d5 and c6, get a couple of tempos out of it. So let's say c4, h5, cd, h4, dc, hg. Then it's dangerous after hg, knight g5. I mean, there's knight g4, queen g5, queen h5, or queen h6. I think this whole thing, I'm going to go for it. There's always also, oh, that's sort of shielding d5. I thought if the idea was to dismantle my pawn chain, I'm not worried about getting extra time for that, for my attack here. With knight g4 and queen h4 looks brutal. Oh, there's no queen h4 though. But okay, e3's under fire. There's no queen h4 just yet. Bishop c5 is interesting. Queen f6. Wow, what's this? Wow. Did I miss this? What's this? Okay, maybe it's something to do with c6. Okay, if I put my king on f8, just for safety. Rook b8 or queen f6. Okay, I think rook b8 is logical here. Queen f6 to h6 looks pretty crude but effective. Queen f6 to h6. Any concrete threats here after queen d5, I wonder? I can't really see it, if there is. So I think I'm going to go with queen f6. Right, so okay, there's queen g2 on queen h6. I mean, maybe there's, okay, bishop c5 coming up. That blocks the diagonal, so isn't queen h6 even more effective? There's no queen g2 now. Just queen h6 here, surely. There's no queen g2. But queen h3, doesn't that pick up the rook? Because it takes, I can take the rook. Yeah, okay, thanks to the game crew. It's a bit too provocative, perhaps. Yeah, I thought at least I'd lose d5 and c6, though, but it didn't turn out like that. From me. Okay, it's Fremy here, or do the countdown. I might have to do the countdown. 1 Greek gift, 2 Greek gifts, 3 Greek gifts, 4 gifts, 5 gifts, 6 gifts, 7 gifts, 8 gifts, 9 gifts. Okay, another time. 10 gifts. Okay, another time. Oh, Fremmy's arrived. Okay. I'll go with this, quieter than F4. Oh, I'm being hack attacked. Can I play for D4? This might be a logical thing to play in the circumstance here, especially. Bishop takes. This is getting interesting. If I take and Queen D2 to get tempo. I think I'll castle queenside. So that's rook's hanging. I think I'll just take here then, not to hang the knight. I just want to take the rook after. Oh, thank you, Fremy. That was okay. Unexpected. Epinikion. Okay. Let's check in for bishop e7, just to use up that c3 square, I hope. Or is that not happening? Is the knight c3? So I've seen Magnus Carlsen once use this line. I thought it was interesting, intriguing. Rather than bishop c5, more bog standard bishop c5. Alright, so e5 could be threatened immediately. So I'm going to... Maybe I should spend time with bishop d7 here. It looks as though... Oh, hang on. e5, knight takes e5. Oh, but the problem is knight takes and then e5. Okay, so bishop d7 then. I think I can safely do this now. And look forward to some e-file pressure. I'm hoping with rook e8 and bishop f8. Okay, so some pressure on the e4 pawn. Maybe I can swing by bishop g4 to put the bishop here. Depends on what's happening with c6, I think, in the meantime. Yeah. Okay, can I play this? See what happens there. Hitting c4. Can I actually open up this bishop? If I ever took here, I'm opening up that bishop. That might be good for hitting f2 later with bishop c5. Bit of provocation, I guess, if the knight retreats, waiting for f4, knight g6, f4. Bit of provocation. Against that sort of thing, sometimes a quick d5 is useful. Just to open up that and try and tap into that diagonal. Okay, so let's see here. I'm hitting e4 again. There is the f5 square for white to use. If I played c5 here for bishop c6, is that possible? I'm going to try it. Put some pressure on e4 here. f3 would seem damaging to that diagonal if white has to play f3 at some point. Alright, so d5 looks as though, to try and use that diagonal. Unless there's anything better, I think d5 is the one. Alright. Okay. D takes. Do I worry about anything here? I'm fracturing the pawn structure. There's a beautiful knight on e5. There's also c4, but then knight d4. Rook d2 looks tasty. Very active rook. I think rook d2. There might be rook g2 for bishop e4 as well. This looks like I've got good piece activity. The dark square bishop seems to be quite nice. I do like the isolation of the e pawn, so I do like the possibility of c4 and bishop c5. But maybe just winning b2 is best. I'm looking forward to rook g2 here. You might just win b2 for a moment. Okay, there's knight g4. Do I suppress knight g4? I wonder. With knight e5. Yeah, that knight looks a tower of strength. Maybe I shouldn't allow knight g4. Okay, I'm going to try this more prophylactic move, less greedy. Covers knight c4 as well as g4. Yeah, I think this invasive rook is a nuisance. Maybe b5 for c4 to try and get this bishop c5 in as a possibility. Let's see this endgame. If the rook d1, rook d8, rook takes, knight takes. Oh, what's happening here? Okay, if I take and then c4 check, c4 and then bishop c5. That knight's too strong. I think this one. So bishop c5 gives bishop f2 later. Oh, king h2, there's knight f3 anyway. Right, can I play b takes here? I think I've got the threat of bishop f2, bishop g3. Okay, I'm going to try that. No, I haven't. The knight's on f5. Can I double rooks on the 7th rank? I think that's a better option. The knight's covering d7 at the moment. There's a mating pattern with rook g2, rook h2. So I'll go with this, try and double. Knight e7's not in the okay. Alright, a pair of rooks come off. Maybe my king goes towards the centre here. For this pawn. Can I do this without getting mated? Or rook d2, maybe more emergency measure. But then there's rook b1. Okay, it's a bit dangerous. Yeah, it's more than a bit dangerous. I'll try this. I'm hoping I'm not getting mated with this. King e8 to d7. He's always got bishop. No, he hasn't got bishop c6 immediately. Right, so can I go up to... There's no bishop c4 yet. Can I do this? Oh, there is bishop c4 there. If bishop c4 after king d7, I have knight f3 threatening checkmate rook h2 anyway. That looks dangerous. I think I'll... And there's bishop b5 check. And what if I played king e8 Bishop c4, king d8, bishop b5, knight f3. I'll try this just to have a blockading king, I think. So bishop c4, king d8, a blockading king, immediately threatening knight f3. So without bishop b5 check. Alright, can I just go with that pawn? Go for that pawn. I think we're getting into pre-move territory pretty soon. It's only 30 seconds. Blimey. Hang on, G5. Okay, thanks again, very exciting. Oh yeah, I think if I preview that G5. Well, because it'll take, hang on. Okay, yeah, exciting stuff. Alright, Cicero, I think I'll play King's Engine attack. Captain Kirk. 1 elephant, 2 elephants, 3 elephants, 4 elephants, 5 elephants, 6 elephants, 7 elephants, 8 elephants, 9 elephants, 10 elephants. Okay, I'm going to abort here. Let's go on to the next challenge another time. Okay, Alaba. Uh-oh. Okay. 1 elephant, 2 elephants, 3 elephants, 4 elephants, 5 elephants, 6 elephants, 7 elephants, 8 elephants, 9 elephants, 10 elephants. Okay, come on guys, be ready. Be ready. I have to abort this. Let's go on to the next challenge. Play knight f3 today. Again. Oh, we got a game. Right, so sort of English opening start position. I'll play standard wet letters procedure of rook b1, b4, b5. Wet letters system. Okay, so b5 here, trying to cause some mild structural damage. Knight takes e5 might be a threat, or bishop takes and then knight takes. Okay. F4 might be dangerous, right? What about d4 here? F4, bishop can drop back to c1, maybe. Okay, or knight g5 here. Okay, so knight takes, so I end up losing a pawn. Right, there is d5. I don't like the structure I've got, of course, after knight e3. It's not a very nice structure. Maybe on bishop g5 there's an exchange sack, and I can try and use this diagonal for the bishop. Just to try and turn this into some sort of, I don't know, some sort of dark square compensation. So say knight takes, f takes, cd, cd, the bishop moves back. There's later bishop g5, so I'm wondering, you know, bishop, no, bishop's not on the board. I'm hallucinating. Bishop's not on the board, so this is bad structurally for me. On cd, maybe knight d5 for knight f4. Alright, doesn't this hang a pawn? No, it doesn't. Oh, well, that's fascinating. Bishop f6, wow. So knight a4. I mean, knight a4. Wow, okay, so, okay. No, I find this difficult, this position now. CD, CD. That's took me by surprise, bishop f6. So, let's imagine CD. Okay, CD is happening. Queen d2. Looks at a5 a bit. Ooh, the knight's stranded on a4 at the moment. Okay, can I commit that bishop to h6 at least and have queen d4 here? Oh, there's queen f6. Knight c3, where's that going? If I play king h2 or something. Okay, no. The c file. Knight c3 might be sensible. Anyway. Oh, knight d1 is pretty passive, but I don't know what else. Have I got the queens off here with queen d4? Well, there's bishop e3. Oh, queen takes e3. Okay, that seems plausible. Queen takes e3 on bishop e3. Not knight takes, queen takes. But queen takes e3. Okay. And it doesn't look nice. I don't like my structure. But by pushing the bishop there, this queen's okay on the diagonal if the queens are not coming off here. Okay, can I... Alright, bishop e3 if... king h2, bishop d4. There's knight e4 there. Okay, I'll go with that. Because of that f8. Hence d6. At least there's some f-file dynamic going on here. So I'm hitting d6. Well, I think it's spending too long for this. Not too much time. Time is precious, as Kasparov says. Knight takes d6. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with knight takes d6. Well, there's knight takes b7. I end up with this passed pawn guided by d6, d7 with the knights holding d8. I could end up with this dangerous passed pawn here. Sunny outlook here. All of a sudden, after the knight takes and d6 for d7. I still think knight f7's possible because that can't be taken, but I don't think it does anything because king g8. So I'm going to just take this. Taking too long here. This is severe time pressure. d6 or knight d6. Knight d6 actually threatens knight takes f5 maybe. Oh no, the bishop's covering e8. Okay, I'll play this anyway. If the bishop's not covering e8, then knight takes f5. Alright, the bishop's covering f5. Okay. Okay, I'll do this en route to... Oh, resigned. Okay, is that a problem? Oh, rook d1. Oh, rook d1. Yeah, to win a piece. Okay, fence of the game. Sammy. Don't have the king's engines. Okay, so semi. I'll go with e5 here. Although I'm kind of wondering why I just did that. Yeah, I think I've just lost the pawn, a centre pawn. That was careless. Oh no. Careless. But let's work it out. Knight takes bishop. Maybe there's knight c5. This is a mess I didn't really want. Bishop g3, hg, queen takes. Do I get any compensation? Is there any other way of getting compensation? Okay. Knight d4 here. Yeah, why did I routinely pushed e5, didn't realise so weak that e5. Oh, okay. I'll protect it then. I thought the idea was to take it. We can reinforce it now. Luxury. So reinforce e5. It might give me a perk now, an attacking perk, this pawn wedge in the centre. So c3, queen d2, queen h6. Bishop h6, I mean. Queen d2, bishop h6. Yeah, this looks okay now. Bishop h6 and so if I go with the h pawn to h6. Okay, so knight g5, looks dangerous. Concretely though, exactly what am I threatening? Concretely. I'll stop this invasion with queen b2. I want to play bishop f3, king g2 at least, and then g4 maybe later. I think that's the way to hit this pawn chain hard. So bishop f3, king g2, g4. f6, there's knight takes e6 here. Oh, there is queen f4 and queen f7 for knight e6. So queen f4. If I wanted on rook f8, I think there's queen f7, rook takes, and knight takes e6. Checking all the checks principle. Gets very fast calculations sometimes if you just check all the checks, even if they look crazy. Okay, is it worth it? It does kind of grab 2 pawns, hits the bishop, and then d5 drops. I think queen f7 is a tasty one. Checking all the checks principle. D5 is vulnerable, so let's say rook f8. Okay, I don't want to play knight takes because rook takes. Right, still d5 is vulnerable. Okay, so he's on my bishop, so knight takes is on my bishop. I still think d5 dropping, I get this passed pawn here. So e6, e7 is now dangerous, surely. Or f4 is more cautious. Reinforce things, maybe, first. There is this diagonal which is dangerous, potentially. e6 here looks tempting. But rook c5, say. That might be awkward. Rook c5. So I don't think I need to rush it necessarily. Maybe rook d1 to d4 for hitting c4 and protecting the rook to a pin. Okay, bishop g4, bishop f3. Yeah, perhaps the way to play this is... Okay, I have to play this. Don't want to lose the exchange necessarily. Alright, I can hit g6 or c4. Maybe c4 is mentioned. Bishop e4, I think, would loosen c4. Oh, okay, this second rank is scary. g4 to give my king g3. I don't want to be mated with bishop f1 if I have to go to h3. So maybe g4. Oh, it's not great, this outcome, is it? a4. Oh, okay. This is a bit of counterplay I didn't want. I was going to have a pass pawn. I'm wondering if my pass pawn is going to be better than the a pawn or not. But I don't want my king stuck on h3 particularly either. Okay, then maybe there's rook d7 is quite quick with this e pawn. e7 is the immediate threat. Yeah, e7 has... Okay, thanks for the game, Sammy. Oh, Alaba, we need some more challenges. So challenges welcome, yeah. Keep sending the challenges. Alaba. There's time for one or two more challenges, maybe. I'm hesitant to start the countdown. Okay, I have to start the countdown, don't I? Alright. 1 elephant, 2 elephants, 3 elephants, 4 elephants, 5 elephants, 6 elephants, 7 elephants, 8 elephants, 9 elephants, 10 elephants. Okay, I think we have to. We've got some other challenges now. The mechanic again. Oh, the mechanic took me apart, didn't he? Earlier, was that? Oh, blimey! I have to work out what happened there. Was it something like this? So I'm weakening G6. I don't want to. I think I need to vary on that game. Live and learn. A6 and knight G4. I'm not taking because of Queen A4. I think knight G4 is going to be interesting. F5 just allowing knight E6. I think that's interesting because of C6 and the potential to play F4, because this is quite committal, this structure. It means I think F4 is more effective than usual with the pawn here. I think this looks like very effective for F4. Okay, I'm getting in for F4. That hits F2 and E3 and stuff. In fact, knight E6 will make things worse with H4. Knight H4 might be coming in. F takes is the immediate threat here. Okay, that was parried. But now knight, this one. Okay, Queen C2 threatens mate. Maybe Bishop F5 there. Queen C2 slightly threatens mate. It's worth trying sometimes in the Blitz game. I've got to be careful about this. Knight. This is sometimes taken over Queen C2, right? Okay. So Queen C2, Bishop F5. I'm looking forward after that to Queen F6 and then Queen G6. Alright, F3 here just... Oh no, it doesn't win material. Okay, Queen F6 now. Not yet threatening anything. Okay. Now I'm threatening F3. I think I'm threatening F3 because E4 is loose. F3, knight takes, queen takes. Or, yeah, I think that's sufficient evidence. Bishop takes, knight takes, and if knight takes, queen takes. F3 is the threat here. F3 is threatened. I'm not sure that parries it. Maybe it does. Just checking. It probably does. Oh. Okay. I'll put some more pressure on e4 then. I can still put more pressure with rook f6 and double the rooks here. This looks very comfortable for putting more pressure on white. Yeah, with rook f6 and then doubling the rooks. Oh, I mean, rook f6, is that even possible? A knight takes pawn? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Pawn takes. Knight h3. Well, here, I mean, e4 would drop, so I think I can just double. Yeah, I think I can just double because e4 would drop. So if I double, then bishop takes. I think that's going to be big trouble here because of f3, incoming f3. Even though there's a rook looking after f3, I think that's too much. Yeah. This bishop takes an f3 looks like too much. Oh, this leaves the knight hanging. And then there is f3 because there's knight takes and then bishop e4. And the king's coming out to play. I doubt it. The king's coming out. I mean, bishop c2 check. So I think bishop e4 is a killer move there. So king takes, I mean, there's at least bishop e4 or bishop c2. I mean, maybe king e2, but bishop c2 would win. And if rook takes, then there's bishop e4 pinning the rook. Okay, so bishop e4. Right, so if I just take, and then queen takes g5. I suppose there's rook e4, but then queen f5 check. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, there's a double check here, which is lethal, isn't it? There's queen g2 if king g1. Okay, thanks for the game, mechanic. I think you're the one that crushed me earlier. Well played again. At city mid on. Okay. At city mid on. Bishop on a7, I think. Now maybe I just want some dark square provocation here. Don't have to use the h pawn every game. As a golden rule, I can play bishop g4, I think, instead. More refined, less caveman. Bishop g4. Trying to provoke some subtle dark square weaknesses. Okay, I'll play this here. Maybe just on taking not knight takes, but d takes here. Because I think d4 is slightly weak. Queen's coming off. Will I be worried there? Queen's coming off. Queen e2 seems to run into knight d4. Okay, I think I'm just gonna... oh, I don't know. The problem is, it's not as good as a king's engine with the pawn there, because later there could be an eviction notice to the knight on d4. So in other words, if I'm not getting a secure knight on d4, I'm handing white the light squared bishop, which could be lethal later potentially. So is this slightly controversial to take here on knight d4? I think I'll, on this occasion, maintain the bishop. Because this pawn's, if it was there, then obviously, not obviously, but in general, it would be more lucrative to take it than knight d4. Because the pawn's there, c3 later. So I'm going to castle, alright, okay. Castle here. Knight d4, I don't know if that's actually a threat or not. As there's g4 unpinning. Okay, that's putting pressure on e4. Alright, so knight d4 here though looks awkward for white. Because of that c2. If rook c1 looks like b5, if the knight moves, there's knight e2 check. So I think c2 is a right pain here. g5, there's knight h5 to f4. But rook c1, there's b5. Isn't that a pain? Because then I'm threatening b4, knight e2 check. That looks like a total pain, this position, because of, yeah, b4, knight e2 check. Oh, right, yeah. Okay. That's a change of plan then. So, okay, there is knight e2 potentially as well. I can do maybe this fancy knight maneuver to f4, knight h7 to g5, e6 to f4. Knight d5 is going to be a pain. Knight e2 is a potential pain. Maybe c6 for a moment. So maybe knight e2, knight e6, with the idea that I'm going to do something with the other knight. But using up e6 for that knight, what do I do with that knight? That's interesting. This one can go like this to f4 if white's not doing much. Okay, so c3 is going to happen. I'll try this knight maneuver. In any case, maybe I put that knight first on f4 and put that knight to e6. And if nothing else, the bishop still seems contained by its own pawn structure in the endgames. King could probably wander up on dark squares later. Oh, knight b3. Oh, for knight c5. Knight b3 looks... Okay. Anyway. Maybe knight takes... knight e6. Oh, okay. Okay, knight b3 could actually be dangerous. Knight f4, knight c5, knight e6, knight a6. Oh, it's going to get interesting. Any knight a6, maybe there's rook a8 for rook takes a2 later. Now, okay, let's see. So knight c5, I'm going to be offering a6 to try and create that backfire on a2. Still trying to contain this bishop, okay. To try and win a2 to get my pawn back. Is knight e7 dangerous in the meantime? I hope not. Right, so I'm hoping that bishop is still contained, but okay, that does stop rook d5 as well. Just concerned about rook d5 for a moment there. So knight takes f4 is possible. I can try and reinforce this lock-in of the bishop and try and get my king somewhere useful. Is c4 controversial or not? Is c4 controversial? Maybe b4, trying to grab some more dark squares, potentially. Okay, this c5 looks juicy. b3 for rook c2. That's knight e2 check. Alright, I think we've come to 1 PM. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this week. I took a real beating, didn't I, earlier? But yeah, okay, I don't know how I managed that sometimes. Such a beating. It was so horrific. I don't know. But anyway, I managed to play off. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for giving me the chances, guys, today. After that beating. That flogging. And I hope you enjoyed it, yeah. And see you next week. Thanks very much. Okay, cheers then.